What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and welcome back to another video guide. In today's video is going to be the next Equinox Aurora event. It's going to be on the Dawn Lufenia fight. So before we do start, like and subscribe if you haven't already, because it does help this channel and I would really appreciate it if you do. And without further ado, let's start this video. Alright guys, as always, we'll take a look at how you're going to deal with the Lufenia Orb in this particular fight. So the Lufenia Orb appears when the boss's HP reaches less than 50% on the first one, and it will then disappear after you kill it for the first time, and we'll use Curaga, and once you reach less than 60% on the second life, basically it will reappear once again. And to increase this Lufenia Orb is you're gonna need to make sure that the boss is unable to act. So paralysis is the name of the game in this one, since the boss does have quite a few resistances to, like, for example, HPD disable and stuff like that. You do get 12 counter Lufenia Orb counters though, so it's not all too bad. So Cloud, Ash, Cryo, and these type of characters are definitely the character to go for. Alright guys, now let's take a look at how this fight works. So first of all, I already mentioned the Curaga. Basically, when you first kill it, it will use Curaga, and again, when its HP falls less than 60%, it will use Curaga again. And like I said earlier as well, it does have multiple immunities when it comes to debuffs, such as the Terror debuff, Sleep, Confuse, and HP Attack Disable. So the only I guess the only way for the boss to unable to act, I guess that makes sense, is to use paralysis. So the boss does have an AoE Brave attack when you kill it for the first time. Just be careful though that you don't get broken. It does gain a lot of Brave with this one, and it has a double resistance to magic as well. Alright, so how are you going to deal with this fight? First of all, timing your paralysis is going to be very essential in this fight. Don't just expect to keep on delaying and, end up, the boss having a turn paralyzed. You just have to time it really well and let the boss have a turn. This is the only way for you to get those Lufenia Orb counters. So, the other tip that I would tell you guys is something that I've learned after the fact that I've already finished this fight, and that is to apply paralysis before it falls to this less than 60% on its second life. So basically this will prevent it from using the second Curaga, and therefore making it so much easier for you to clear this fight, since there is only 60 turns in this fight. And if you go over than that, then you don't meet the criteria to perfect this fight. So this is something you really want to do. But if you're like me, who you don't want to, you don't care about the second Curaga, off-turn damage is the biggest thing here. Having core actually really helped in this fight, especially if you let the second Curaga go, or if you miss the opportunity to actually use paralysis in that particular sequence. Obviously, tanks and healers are still pretty good to bring along, since you do get some HP damage here and there, but it is not completely necessary. Alright, now let's move on to characters that you may want to bring. Again, you can pause in this section of the video if you want to take a look at my list, but honestly, there's a lot of characters that you can bring here that I probably didn't list in this video. So the main thing here is being able to paralyze the boss, and that is basically it. So characters to bring for your call. Look, in this case, characters that can paralyze off the call is actually really helpful. For example, Cryo, the boss does need to have a turn before it actually paralyzes the boss, but it's still there. But essentially, you just want to make sure you do enough damage, like Jack, Kurosame, once again, Lion, Gabranth, and all that good call characters. I would highly suggest these characters for your call abilities. And finally, guys, let's take a look at some party compositions that I would recommend. First of all, of course, the video that you guys are seeing here is going to be consisting of Core, Gladio, and Shantotto. The call team is going to be Kral, Gabranth, and Kurosame, with Tidus support and Ramuh for the summon. Gladio is probably not super needed here, but he does have a counter effect. Since I found out kind of late when it came to paralyzing the second Curaga was possible, I went with a lot of off-turn damage that it obviously includes Core, Gladio, and the Tidus support, and I kind of used the I guess quote-unquote core bug, where he can have two of his buffs on two separate characters if you switch the switch in your support. So definitely something you can use in order to clear this fight. The next team I have for you guys is going to be Cloud, Tifa, and Porom. Cloud is your main paralysis. Just make sure you use his finishing touch so you can, guarantee that paralysis. Kurosame, Reno, and Jack for the call, and Tifa for the summon, and Ramuh for Tifa for the support, and Ramuh for the summon. I just lost my train of thought there. So Tifa is really good as a single target damage, and you've got Porom basically to back you up. And finally, the last team I have for you guys here is going to be Ashe, Shantotto, and Tidus. Now, Ashe and Shantotto obviously can paralyze, so you don't have to worry about that. You've got Cloud, Gabranth, and Iroha for your call team, but honestly, you can bring Kurosame here as well. You got Noctis as for your support, and Ramuh for your summon. Alright guys, we're finally towards the end of this video, and of course I'll give you guys my final thoughts regarding this fight. Overall, this fight shouldn't be too difficult if you actually know that you can paralyze the boss for this, during the second life, so it doesn't use Curaga. Unlike me, who struggled a few times and had to reset this quite a few times, and I had to reset my first team in order to bring Core in this team. Ooh, doing this blind is not good. Doing this blind is not good. But in any case, overall, the 60 turns is pretty short, but if you can prevent the second Curaga, you are definitely on your way out of this Lufenia fight. So that is the main I guess point that I want to get across, that you can stop the second Curaga as long as you can paralyze the boss. Overall, the boss isn't like overly difficult, it's just the turn requirement if you missed out on that Curaga. So I guess I'll end the video right here, guys. Please do remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help the channel. I would really appreciate it if you share this video to a fellow DFFO player as well, who's struggling to beat some of these Lufenia fights or the hardest difficulty fights, and hopefully they can share this to their other friends. And of course, they can check out my other videos as well with, I've got a lot of Lufenia guides currently, and that's all the main thing that I'm doing right now. So in any case, make sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter at Munchkins Gaming. Leave down in the comments below if you think I missed something, or you want to share your own strategy, and please share your team as well, as it will help the community out. So that is it. Please look out for the next video. I'm hoping to do it by tomorrow, right around this time as well, for the release. I'm just struggling trying to keep up with all these videos that I need to do, but I'm trying my best. So anyway, this is Munchkins logging off. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next level.